to go to bed. In my arms, you're safe and sound, without a threat. And I can't wait to see what happens next. How far can we get if we sail a little bit high, a little bit low? How far can we get if we sail a little bit high?
Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? I'm going to hide all them, turn that down just a little bit. Back to Discord. Welcome into the third episode of the Wave Dash podcast. Got some new faces here with us tonight. Getting to see the whole crew. Everyone go ahead and say hi.
Hello.
How's it going, guys?
What's up, everyone?
Off season's upon us, boys. There's quite a lot to get into on that. Overall, though, what was your guys' thoughts on the RLCS Season X as a whole?
I thought it was good. I liked some of the changes. It took them a few splits to kind of get the format down. At first, I wasn't really a fan of. I preferred the old grid, not grid, but it was kind of like the old RLCS, where it was like just the regular teams coming in, and there wasn't any changes of who was gonna play throughout the whole season. So I do like the new format overall, and it was fun to watch because there was so many new teams and new people coming in all the time. It was fun.
Yeah. What about you, Dur?
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I saw the big announcement, right? And I didn't even know what I was looking at. I saw there's 3 regionals, there's gonna be a major, there's gonna be a championship. It was all very confusing to me.
Mm-hmm.
As someone new-ish to the scene, all I knew is Saturdays, Sundays, you turned on Twitch and you watched Rocket League. And we're getting a little bit more than that. There was weeks that we weren't gonna have it, weeks we were gonna have it. But I have to say, it grew on me, and I like seeing all the new teams, seeing new faces come up. I like it kind of pushes for more changes throughout the season. So I ended up being a big fan of the new format, and I hope they continue to have an open format in the future.
Yeah, I thought it was awesome being able to just hang out on Saturdays and Sundays and know that Rocket League was going to be on pretty much every day. Can we go ahead and just delete that one? KA2A3A4A19. Yeah, definitely sounds real.
Oh, I think that's my grandma.
Yeah.
Oh,
The off season, though, there's a lot of moves that are going to be coming up. There's a lot of free agents, a lot of potential roster moves. We saw yesterday that the leak came out that just about everyone except NRG and Space Station are going to be making a move. So what are you reading into all that, Corrupt? What about you, Dur?
Ooh, well, I'm a fan. We had, a year-long season? So I want to see changes. I know some people like to see the team stick it out, but I like to see the rosters on the move. I like to bring some new prospects in. I like to see new teams being formed, new play styles. I'm a fan. I hope we see some fireworks this season.
In my opinion, I think it's great. I think NRG and SSG, out of all the teams, even in considering like other regions, are 2 of the teams that should not make a move whatsoever at all. But we're probably going to talk about them later. But I think G2, if they do move on from Drees, I think it'll be a player in the top 5 that they will be getting. So.
Yeah, Dan, I want to hear what you have to what you think real quick, and then I'd have something I want to touch on with the whole Drees situation.
So you want me to talk with the? Oh, never mind.
No,
go ahead.
Just want to hear Dan's thoughts about Rostermania.
Yeah.
Kind of all the moves that we might be seeing.
I think agree with Corrupt. So, if you're not making it at the top level, then you got to make changes. That's reality. So I love the changes. Just more to talk about. It's fun to watch and like just discuss who would be good where, and like is this player better? Is it an upgrade? Is it a downgrade? What's the deal? Who made the best trades? Things like that. I don't know. I love it. I think teams should be mandatory to change up the team every year.
I don't know if
That'd
I'd
be
go that far, but
Mandatory.
the year-long season
That's
definitely
mandatory.
makes
they
it
would
feel
never do.
like there's
They would
more.
never do it.
The
Just
year-long
for the
season makes it feel
laughs,
like
I think that'd be good.
there's more of an investment in the teams and the players. Only getting one world championship a year makes it mean that much more. But and in terms of what Krupp was talking about with G2, what I took away from that leak we saw from Shift yesterday with everyone but G2 or everyone but NRG and Space Station are going to be making a change. What that says to me is it's already decided. Drees is gone. They're bringing in someone different.
I wouldn't really say that. Why I got from
What
it,
else? What other change would G2 be making? You know,
I,
like they're not getting rid of
from
JNAPs for Chicago.
Oh no, I agree with you. If they do make a change, they be getting rid of Drees. What I was trying to say is that I think Drees does have a chance to stay on the team, but I think it only be if they were getting Mist or First Killer, or maybe Atomic. But I wouldn't want Atomic on that team, even with a playstyle change, in my opinion. I just
Yeah.
think that like, if we're really talking about it, I think Envy, out of all the teams in the Big Four and NA or even Big Five, is the most prone to being the one that blows up and gets rid of everyone. So, and I mean, Aiden and Chess said about Gyro. I just don't think that you would drop Drees to pick up Gyro, in my opinion. It's just a lateral
No,
move.
I think Gyro is going to end up at maybe one of the bubble teams a little further down the rankings. The one
Like
that
a
I
top
think
10.
is that I just kind of thought of last night about Drees is
Mhm.
with Pittsburgh Knights signing Alpha Cap, they got a nasty offensive duo in Alpha Cap and Sosa. Now they got a strong third man behind him in Rodoko, but imagine Drees behind them. What he's been able to do in terms of enabling JNAPs in Chicago, maybe he can do in Pittsburgh as well.
I think Drees' stock is like way higher than PK though. I think it's like he could probably be on phase instead of Gyro type of thing. Whereas like the whole reason why I even think FaZe got rid of Gyro is purely because of mentality. And we seen with Drees is that like he from just looking at it from the player King's perspective, he looks like he has a better mentality than Gyro.
yeah,
I'm gonna
I
have
think
to
Gyro's pretty weak.
jump in here and agree with Corrupt. I think that
Man, that's the
Drees has
first.
shown. Yeah, I know, right? This is the first time for everything, but Drees has shown that he can perform. He performed on the biggest stage. G2 went on an insane run. I'd say that G2 Energy matchup was way better than the finals matchup we saw.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think he's shown he can be a top player, and I think him moving to a team like PK would be a downgrade. I think he's got to set his sights high, and I think those top teams should be looking out for him. And I
Fair
think,
enough.
like he was saying, Krupp was saying before, I think he does have a chance to stay on G2 despite the reports. I think they'd be crazy to just say, look at the results they had with him and just
Yeah.
drop him just like that. I think they are going to give him a fair shot with.
That's what I
everyone
was
else.
thinking after seeing him in the championships there. But Dan, what do you look at in Rostermania from the standpoint of a fantasy from someone who runs a fantasy Rocket League website? How much are you paying attention to what's going on in terms of kind of getting a feel for your early season valuing?
Well, real quick, going back to that last point,
Mm-hmm.
I agree with both you guys. Like Drees, I think he's a solid player, and yeah, like if they are gonna get rid of him, it has to be for a first killer or like one of the top players, in the world. So that's really their only option. Otherwise, if you're gonna go for another average player, there's no point. And I think he's building chemistry already with G2. So yeah, great point there. But sorry, what was your question about fantasy?
Yeah, just in terms of you obviously run FanRL,
Yeah.
do all the statistics and the valuations of players in terms of their pricing. How
Yeah.
much are you paying attention to Rostermania in terms of getting a feel for where the season's going to start out for you?
Well, it's interesting because with all these changes, I mean, when you're playing with people for more games, the more chemistry you're going to build up, the more you're going to know where they're going to put the ball and things like that. Like Vitality's a great case. I think they've just been building chemistry for so many seasons now that's, I mean, they're mechanically there, but like the chemistry is, I think, top in the world. I don't know. They've just been together for so long. But yeah, it's interesting because, play styles are a huge part too. Everyone has a role on the team. You have people that are kind of the scorers, and you need people that are going to be more defensive. So it's not just about, is this person mechanically great, but does their play style match with the play style of the whole team? So yeah, it's interesting, and like it's going to be hard to price players, especially the first week if there's a bunch of changes, because you just don't know. You haven't seen them really play together, so it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah. Now, Corrupt, we obviously just talked about G2. What are some of the other big NA changes that you think we might be seeing?
Overall, I think we really need to see where Percy is going, because I think Percy, I think finished like top 10 overall in A standings. And this is coming from like a person that like didn't really look at Alpine or value Alpine that much, even whenever they were hot during this fall split. So to see him top 10, I think is pretty big, and wherever he goes, I think that team should probably be looked after. Also probably Wanda Mike, I have him going to Alpine, the team with Magic Bear, because I think they've been playing in IWO, and it just overall looks like they're a great duo together.
Yeah.
And Gyro, of course, where he's going to go. But I think a team that the team that a lot of people really need to look towards is what Rogue's gonna do, and if they're gonna get rid of Turin, or Taroko, or maybe First Leaves, because
I see. Dur, why don't you? What do you think Rogue should do? if you're Corrupted G and you're the coach of that team, what moves are you making?
Letting First Killer go would be the biggest mistake Rogue could ever make. They have to talk to him one-on-one. They can beat Taroko. They can beat Turin. All they need is him. They gotta look at him and say, "What do you want? If you want money, girls, whatever, anything."
Careful, he's
they
16.
I said what I said. Chick-fil-A.
double down.
They gotta bribe that man. They gotta do whatever they can.
Happy
to
Meal.
keep him on the roster.
A lifetime supply of Happy Meals.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. All the toys you need.
He's gonna be on the roster. If they're gonna be competitive, they can get anyone as long as he's happy. That's what matters.
I'm not saying that. I mean, that's true. I mean,
That'd be
Drees
scary.
could- Yeah, first Taroko Drees.
I think Turo and I don't know. To me, it's similar to the G2, where it's like if you're gonna drop a player, you need to pick up one of the best in the world, and I don't think Drees is that much of an upgrade.
The only player I think that would improve that roster is going to be in our next topic, and we already know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, we'll get to that. So we'll keep y'all waiting in suspense. Let's jump across the pond for a minute though and talk about what we might be seeing in EU as far as Rostermania goes. Dur, any thoughts?
I hope it's you go there. You go first.
This has been a long time coming. EU, they've been waiting to blow up these teams. Like, let's be real.
I mean, you're wrong.
The talent's spread out.
Yeah.
So we already see Solary. Shawsat's looking for team. Astral's gone. We see the Giants making moves. We saw Guild compete, Devo, Archie, Nolly. Did you see that? They competed in IWO together.
I was talking about that a couple weeks ago, how that might be a potential.
Yeah,
I don't think that's gonna happen anymore with Flamey leaving, or at least till like maybe winter split, because Flame left top blokes.
Top blokes. I think that there are I can't even predict what's going to happen in EU. I think almost every single team is going to be moving there. And
yeah, I want to touch on that real quick, Corrupt. You said Flame was released from top blokes. See, in my mind, if I'm Archie, that makes me probably a little more inclined to be like, hey, I'm vibing with Nolly and Devo. Cassio's already something, I'm not really sure, Pyro, but it's just letting you know his name, reminding. But yeah, Archie was vibing with Nolly and Devo, And so Flame's gone. Are you hanging around at top looks? Is Casio keeping you there? Is there anyone they can bring in that you might like better if you're Archie than Nolly and Devo?
A Chronic. But I don't think BS Plus. I don't think he's leaving BS Plus. I'm gonna be honest
They
with you.
just signed that roster.
They did, and they're also in the boot camp right now too.
Yeah.
So it's like
I don't think the Chronic's
don't know.
going anywhere.
It's just tough because it's like with top looks, it's like I just don't really, unless I think maybe they get someone off Atlanta Wave, or maybe like Archie goes to maybe Dignitas or something like that. I just don't really know what they are going, or maybe he does go to Guild for Though. A team of Archie, Though, and Devo. That's crazy.
It'd be Nolly. Though would, based on the
Nolly,
IWO
Nolly.
team, yeah.
Yeah, Nolly. I got my names confused yet, but that team would just be
Nasty.
insane, bro.
Speaking of insanity, Dan, you were big on them going into championships last week. What the heck's going on with Team Queso?
Man, I don't know. I have no idea what's going on, and neither does Shift RL apparently, because they're tweeting out stuff every single day.
They've been gone. They're back together.
Right. Flip a coin.
Atomic
At this
was like
point.
on another team with VK Sailing at one point. Like,
Yeah. I don't know what they're doing, but I thought they were great. I thought they could have maybe made a better run in the championships. So I don't know why they would be changing it up, but that's just me.
I think it could be a thing of, we heard about the report that Atomic or Liquid maybe approached Atomic to come over to their team, and it could be a thing where VK Salen and Demensa, maybe instead of like teaming and finding a third, they want to go their separate ways and maybe go to a bigger award than Team Queso. There's just a lot of moving parts in the moves like these, and if Team Queso sticks together, it'd be great. They're a great team, and I think just consistency with that team, they could definitely be a top 2 roster. They have the potential to be a top 2 roster. We've seen it. I just think that, but I can't blame Atomic for when they go to an org like Team Liquid is Team Liquid,
Right.
So
And
it's
that
like,
I could see that happening for sure. I was thinking about that they'll just get picked up by somebody bigger.
yeah. I don't know. It's just really interesting because Atomic's the best player on that team, but like I think the Mensa is one of my favorite players in EU. So it's like just really tough. But I think overall they're just gonna make the best decision for them personally, career standpoint wise. So that's teaming together. They're gonna team together. If that's going their separate ways, they're gonna go their separate ways. But personally, I would want them to team together so that they can get more consistent play style, because that team is probably they're so fun to watch.
when they're vibing, it's entertaining. 100%.
Exactly.
So, some other EU news. We touched on it earlier, but Astral's gone. Solary is no mas.
Yeah.
We all kind of assumed that Pharaoh was going to get the boot, but little did we know that they're scrapping it. Chausette's LFT. Astral is now on what is Carmine Gaming? Is that correct?
Yeah. Well, it wasn't confirmed yet, but Carmine's going to buy out the Vodafone Giants team, which is Itachi and Stake, and then they're going to get Astral on the team too. So
Who was that? Who was the third on the Giants before?
It was Zamui.
That's right. Yeah.
Zamui, and then the now team for Carmine, expectedly, or the rumors that's going to be Itachi, Stake, and Astral, which is insane. That is a top 4 team. That's a top 4, top 6 team.
Corrupt's gonna get going. I know where he's going.
Wait,
I want to
let me
hear
get
what
about
Dur
that.
thinks about Carmine and Astral joining up with Itachi and Stake, because I know we're gonna need to spend a couple minutes on this.
You can't keep calling on me when I'm gonna agree with Corrupt.
Yes, sir.
Corrupt
I
is
mean, we
coming
can
back
move
today.
right into it. Let me ask you this question, then, Dur. Is Itachi a top 5 player in EU?
Okay. No, he's not.
Okay.
All right.
I just needed that answer because we're gonna come back to those. We're gonna share we each made a little top 10 list of EU players, but
I'm
that
gonna
was
say-
just a little teaser.
I'm gonna
Dur
say
was
hot
complaining about agreeing with Corrupt.
You want to hear a hot take? Y'all all want to hear a hot take?
Let's hear it.
All right.
Get ready. Astral is the best player in the EU.
I don't think that's that hot.
In the EU.
Nah, I don't think that's a hot
it'll
take.
definitely
I,
rile
I,
up a
you have
lot
the
of the
Astro fanboy
Mickey
and the
Mooners.
Dano over here.
I might just be a fact. Can we talk about
So-
Scrub Killer real quick? I'm excited to
Yes,
see
yeah.
what here goes.
Yeah.
The annual petition for free my boy Scrub.
Right,
I
took a
think
break.
Scrub
I
is a
don't know.
weird
It'll be
case.
good.
I think Scrub's a weird case because it's like he still has a lot of skill, like a lot of skill that I think we've yet to see, and I think it's just that he needs to be on a team where he can fully showcase his skill and that he actually meshes well with the teammates. So I think him and Rondake would be good. I think it just they need to find a third that meshes well with him, and maybe it's Atomic. We don't know yet. All we know is that Lick was gonna have tryouts, but I think Scrub coming back to the scene is overall great for the scene. He's like Rebels, but in the
He gets
EU,
people
where
talking.
talk. Yeah, of course. And you can do nothing but respect it. And he backs up his talk majority of the time too. So it's like I can respect him for that. But yeah,
And he's either winning championships or causing beef and changing teams. So like, there's always a story with Scrub.
Yep. It all comes down to, is he going to be toxic, and who can handle that? Or when? I guess when is he going to be toxic? It's not like if at this point.
True.
I don't know how many of y'all have tuned into Scrub streams from time to
not.
time.
I haven't. I don't really
Yeah.
watch Rocket League streamers that much. Besides maybe Roll Diz, to be honest, or T Beats. How are they?
All right, my man like just talks the entire time. He'll be losing. He'll be upset. He calls his teammates trash. He calls the opponents trash. Like I just don't know if that type of mentality. I mean, I'm in champ. I see that mentality all the time, right?
Yeah. Not the
But
pro
I don't know
scene.
I don't know if anyone in the pro scene wants that.
Right.
No one likes that on their team. I don't like it in the solo queues. I'm sure
No.
the pros
Those
won't
are the
like
people, like, you can tell, and I probably will press start and mute that person within 30 seconds of the game starting. Because it's just it messes with me. Like, I don't want to hear seeing you bitch in chat, seeing you complain in chat, excuse me, is not helping us. Go hit the ball.
It's like, I think mentality really is everything.
Get out of your brain.
If you have a good mentality, then in tough situations with your team, it's going to be a lot better.
Yeah.
And I just think that like, one person mentality can either make or break a whole entire team, essentially.
So, Dur, let's
Agreed.
take a shot. What do you think about what Pyro just said there in terms of Noli's mentality? He's speaking, of course, in terms Guild played like dog doo-doo in RLCS championships. And after getting swept in the second series to hit their exit, just chucked his controller at the wall.
I'm glad you brought this up. I really am. Because
Yeah.
I think he's getting too much hate. I really do.
I
There's a
agree.
difference between being in a ranked game and calling your teammates trash and getting upset and being in the highest level of gameplay, RLCS, European Championships. You can be upset about losing then. You can throw your controller. I think that just shows he wants to win. I think that's a lot different.
I agree. I agree with that. I think the biggest problem, like what Pyro just said, is his after tweets. Because I don't know if you saw him, but he's basically like, I just, you guys are talking about me, but I make so much money off this game. Like he makes bank from Rocket League and stuff like that. And then just overall, like leaking that him and Acronic and Archie were like talking to form a team or something like that. I think that's what a lot of people have a problem with. I personally, I'm not really. I thought it was funny. I mean, someone throwing a controller at the wall, I think it's funny. I'm not gonna be mad at a person, showing emotion after, not winning a single series in the championships of a game.
And it's not like he's chucking that controller at his teammate's head.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
it has no effect on the teammates.
Yeah.
He's not flaming them. He's just releasing emotion.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
Yeah,
What
it's
about
passion.
you, Daniel? What's your opinion on this?
Yeah, I mean, if you play video games long enough and haven't like thought about just smashing a controller on the ground, you know what I mean? And really, it is passion, and like,
You live through those
I
Modern
don't know.
Warfare lobbies. Whew.
Honestly, I prefer when people smash controllers. More smash controllers. That's what I want. Season 11.
So what if it happened at LAN? If he smashes it on the floor right below him, if it doesn't, in my opinion, if it's not doing anything to affect his teammates, if he's just releasing emotion, if that's what he's got to do, promise he's got backup controllers on deck.
If he goes into the crowd, that's a problem.
Yes.
But that'd be pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie, I would laugh at that, but that'd still be a problem. But I
That
don't
would be
think he
top
would.
of Reddit for like 6 months.
That would be hilarious if someone did that.
That's
So
a
I do
souvenir
wanna-
right there. I want that controller. Throw it to me.
You know what I want? I want like, football when they score a touchdown, they'll like throw the ball in the stands to like some fans. I want that with controllers. They're just like chucking them in the stands, and people are like, "Oh, grabbing them up, let's go, get the LAN experience."
They just
So
sign the
we-
controller and chuck it in this crowd.
We've talked about a lot of the EU and NA changes that we're kind of expecting, but there's probably going to be one or two that come out of nowhere. One of the rumors that we've heard in the NA side is the Turbo Atomic beef. One of the
Yeah.
ones on the EU side that I want to touch on, though, is the potential disconnect with the EU dominant team, BDS. The language barrier between Mark by 8 and then you've got Monkey Moon and Extra. You can see it on their cams all season long. Monkey Moon and Extra are at the team's facility, and Mark's at his place rocking the Kobe jersey by himself. So,
I always thought,
what do you take of that?
I always thought that he probably couldn't go to the team house, maybe due to COVID, and since he's the only one probably not, obviously originally from France, but also, or because maybe doesn't even. I don't know about the whole travel restrictions in the EU right now.
Yeah, I don't
That's
know.
what I thought. But I don't really think they get rid of Mark. I think they stay with Mark. If they
He's
do
one of
get
the
rid
best ball chasers in the world.
Yeah, I agree. And it's like, if they do get rid of Mark, you have to try to get someone better. But I don't think there's anyone really better at what he does specifically. So it's like,
Unless you can maybe get a Chronic.
yeah, that too. But I don't know.
But a
about
Chronic,
I still-
we pretty much can tell isn't going
yeah,
anywhere.
I just don't think, as of right now, I don't think. Maybe if like BS Plus does like bad, he might
Yeah.
want to leave. Right now, I just don't think he's gonna want to leave BS Plus right now.
Yeah, and I think it comes down to like play style again, and you need to find, you could say throw an Astral on that team, but at the same time, like Astral's a goal scorer, he's up, and then you already have Monkey Moon who's up there, and Extras on the offensive side too. So it's like you kind of need the role player a little bit, and yeah, I think it'd be absurd if they changed.
Yeah. There's
Their
go ahead.
success. Are we gonna look at their success for the whole season up until what they made it to the championship match, and they got embarrassed, yes, but like all the majors, all the regionals, like are we just gonna lose all that because of
No.
like maybe one bad day?
I think the moment was just too big for him.
You think so?
I think they were just nervous. I mean, yeah, they'd had the whole season and they played in those big moments, but you're
Yeah.
being talked about as one of the best teams of all time, and you know that you have to win that grand finals in order to even make that argument.
Yeah.
Like if you don't,
Yeah.
it's the 73-9 Warriors not finishing off that season. Like yeah,
Right.
they were a great team, but they didn't finish the job.
Yeah, and it's like Johnny Boy was touching on that too, and he's like, "Man, no, they've been in the championships all season long, so they're just used to it. They're used to all the pressure, but it's Worlds. This isn't just like another major, and also they were qualified for Worlds like after split or like fall split or something like they qualified so early, it was absurd.
I
So
did
like there
believe
was
by
no
the end of fall,
pressure.
Yeah. I just think. Never mind. I was gonna get into like a EU versus NA thing. I don't want to do that right now.
If we have some time at the end, we'll come back to that. That's always fun.
I just don't want to do that right now.
Do you guys have anything else you want to touch on? I do want to kind of shift a little bit and talk more prospects that may be coming into the RLCS.
I don't know. I'm curious to see where Chasset goes. I
Yeah.
think he's a
Yeah.
great player. I mean, like I think is underrated
Chat.
for. I don't. I think he's top 10. Not top 10 in EU, but he's up there. He's a solid player.
Yeah.
And I mean, adding him to a team that's already good, could potentially put that team top 4 or top 2 even. So.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's just the consistency thing with him. We've seen him. Chaucetta at his peak is still really good, but he was kind of MIA for a lot of the season. Astro was doing a lot of the heavy lifting.
Right. Agreed.
But I think based on the chat, we know what they want to talk about.
Yes,
I
sir.
said prospect once, and all of a sudden I just see Daniel. Damn, Daniel. So who wants to lead us
What?
in? Talk about the kid, the prodigy.
I'll do it right now.
All right, let him know.
Now, in my opinion, there's only 3 teams Daniel's going to. Okay? It's either FaZe, Shopify, or Rogue. And maybe throw in Envy, and if Envy builds a team around Daniel. Those are the only 4 teams I think Daniel will consider going to. Now, from a first to last, I think it'd be Rogue, then FaZe, then Envy, then Shopify, if we were doing it in that order. But obviously, I think a lot of pros, well, we all know about Daniel. He's an upcoming pro. A lot of people consider Daniel to be top 10 in NA right now as we speak.
He'll be 15 in early December, by the way.
Yeah, early December. We don't know, like, they never released when Winter Split is going to start. We're still obviously in our off season. But hopefully, Winter Split starts after his birthday has passed. I think that's how you say it. So he can be able to join a team right from the get-go. Because Daniel, I mean, it's just, he's insane, man. Like,
Yeah.
I just,
What have you heard about him, Dur?
yeah, Dur, yeah, it's your topic.
You guys know me. I watch a lot of ones.
Yes, you do. You are my one's resource.
I like Johnny Boy stream. I watch Fear's stream. So I've seen a lot of Daniel, and my concern with him, and I think he's a top prospect, but my concern is his mentality. I'm not sure if you guys have followed
Or
the
mentality.
Drawley saga. Sorry, what?
His maturity, oh my god, maturity or his mentality, like, or both of them.
I say they kind of go hand in hand. He's got that young mentality. I think being hyped up so much, he's got the ego. I think that, like, just how he's reacted to these losses, were tough. But again, he's a young guy. He's got so many years to figure it out, and I wouldn't expect much out of a 15-year-old. So I think I wouldn't be surprised if some of the bigger teams are a little more hesitant to just bring him in. I think he will get a shot, but I don't think he might not be as coveted as everyone sees.
Yeah. Dan, what do you think about kind of the perspective that Rocket League is a sport where a lot of the stars aren't even 18. They can't even vote yet. So
Yeah.
there's part of it on us to keep that in mind when looking at players' mentality. Like when I was 14, I was a dumb kid. Oh my gosh. So it's hard for me to hold it too much against him.
Yeah, and I think Daniel is similar to a first killer and a scrub killer. Like, they were young, hype players. Scrub killer, I'm sorry, is he I think is similar to Daniel, where he was a ones player. Everyone hit the talk of the town, like when he was coming on the scene. It's like, when's he getting in an RLCS? Who's gonna pick him up and like that? And I mean, Scrub Kill is obviously like a RLCS champion, and like he's gonna get on a team this season. And so when you think about that, teams have to kind of, I don't know, if I was a scout for a team, I'd be thinking that too. Like, okay, if he's similar to Scrub Killa, he brought that team to the championship, so I would be looking at him as a player that can bring my team there. And honestly, like, it's a risk because like we haven't really seen him in the RLCS yet, so it's like you don't know for sure. But if you're a team that, hey, we're not here to like get third or fourth every season, we need to win championships, they're going to take that risk. So I think Rogue, he could go there. I think that's like the favorite for me for him to go there. And kind of as a wild card, I think G2 could pick him up for and drop Drees.
Yeah.
Ooh. I just don't.
I mean, think about that roster though. J-Naps, Daniel.
That'd be insane.
I mean,
That'd be unstoppable nearly. It's
I
like,
mean that's my thought. And G2, they made a great run, in the championship, but I I, I think they kind of knew the chink in the armor was Drees. So
I have
Yeah.
to say, of all people saying Daniel was going to go to G2, I did not expect it to be Dano. I thought I was going to be Corrupt. When he said 3 teams, I thought Corrupt was going to say
I was
G2.
surprised Corrupt didn't have
number
G2 on that list.
So,
because
you
I
know,
just don't
I'm a little
think.
disappointed.
I don't think. I just don't think that G2 would get Daniel. I'm not gonna like. I just don't
I don't
think.
think if G2's making a move to change from Drees, I don't think they're waiting until December. I think they're going to do something this offseason. But Daniel is not the only prospect. There's a couple on here that actually have some RLCS experience that got in last year. Let's start out talking a little bit about LJ from Oxygen and Beast Mode, who is now on the former KC Pioneers, bought out by Shopify Rebellion. He was balling towards the end of the season. Beast Mode was.
yeah,
Yeah, take a pick.
Beast Mode. Beast Mode. I don't know. I think people kind of like didn't have high expectations for him, and he really is like a very solid player. I think he could make a lot of rosters.
Yeah, and LJ got in last year. He was playing with, is it Oxygen? It was Toasty and Krasix he was playing with.
Yeah.
Is Oxygen keeping their roster this year? Have we heard anything about them?
We haven't heard anything about them. You don't think so, Derek? I think they're gonna. They're gonna
Uh,
stick together, bro.
I just see all those like teams that you saw them like. Oxygen is one of those teams that they qualify and they wouldn't go far. They wouldn't qualify some regionals. I think all those like fringe teams, they're going to be looking to blow it up. They're going to be looking to be in that top group of teams that qualifies for every single regional. So, like, I'm going to go to the shift report and say all those teams are moving, you know?
Yeah. There's a couple other newbies that are going to be coming in as well that I'm sure Durr has some experience with in the ones world I'm not too familiar with, but that's Drawley and Aqua. What can you guys tell me about them?
Johnny Boy was talking about Jolly. Apparently, he was like he's originally from Canada, but then he moved to Morocco, and now he's moving back to Canada soon. So he's gonna be another one of those young NA pros that are gonna make it out into NA basically. But he's like really good at ones. I think he just like Derek was saying, he beat Daniel in a 1v1 type of thing too recently.
Yeah. And he also beat apparently Jack, which is huge.
Wow.
That's hard to
checking.
do.
So he's kind of established himself as one of the top ones players recently.
How old
but
is he?
He is 13, so
Yeah, he's 1 year
Jeez.
younger.
he's got some years
more
to
than
go.
twice their age. Holy crap, I feel old.
I also believe Aqua's got. I don't think he'll be in RLCS this season, but some ones players that will be is Chronic, who's a frequent on Fear stream. He qualified with Austin, but I can't see that roster sticking together. I think Chronic is a high value guy. He'll make a move. Ashley, who I haven't heard from anybody, but Ashley has been just tearing up the one scene. Insane mechanics, double resets, like it's just unreal. He's been a
Was it
great
the Spring
one
Major
player.
they did a feature on him?
Um,
It was either
I'm
one of
not-
the regionals or one of the majors. They did some sort of feature on him. Battle of the
maybe.
Bulls. That's what it was. Yeah. Thanks, Hayden.
Oh
Yep.
yes, yeah.
My guy.
So I actually was working that day, but like I think Ashley is a very good prospect that is not on a team right now. Oh, Aqua turns 15 same month as Daniel. I guess I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Aqua was 14, with Daniel. They were like for a very long time, Aqua was like the more sought out prospect, but then Daniel just skyrocketed up. And then now Aqua's like a lot of people think Aqua's gonna be good, but like Daniel's like generational talent basically type of thing situation going on there. So that's why they don't really talk about Aqua as much anymore.
Gotcha.
You guys
Is there
think
any?
that
Yeah.
for ones players transitioning to threes, I mean, obviously when you have those mechanics, you can make plays. But obviously threes is a completely different play style as well. So do you think these ones players transitioning to threes? It sounds like Daniel's good to go regardless, but um, is there any of those players that you might think they're great at ones, but they're not going to transition super well to threes?
I think it's like you want to go there since you know you're
Well, I say we've seen both. I think some players do it better than others. You can look at Alpha 54, great ones player, great on Vitality. Scrub Killa, again, great ones. He was really young, ones player, like sought out type deal, and
Apparently,
he
Jack
had a
Joria's.
yeah. Well, those are kind of guys that might not have adjusted too well. I mean,
Yeah.
Dig kind of disappointed me this season. Relating Wave, great ones player, but like not doing anything special with Endpoint. They've made a
I don't
few.
think that's his problem though or his fault, but
Yeah, I
The
mean,
Aqua got banned from Six Mans. Sorry to
um,
interrupt you, but that definitely caught my eye.
so I think it just comes down to playstyle. First Killer, how did I not mention him? Fantastic player, fantastic
Just a
threes
given.
player. So it works for some. I think not everyone has the same level of success, but I think it definitely I think high level ones players deserve shots for high level threes teams.
Yeah.
I think for like Joria's and apparently Jack, I think I honestly, truthfully, I think it's just more of a adjustment factor. I think they're gonna. I think for them it's gonna be like kind of like the first killer route, where it's gonna take them a little bit longer until they get fully adjusted to threes because you gotta remember like Scrub and First they weren't like super great at threes like pros RLCS threes when they first got into the league. I think for Jorius and apparently Jack, it's just gonna take a little bit more time. But I really do think Diggs is gonna be a top 14 next season,
Yeah.
especially if like they do replace someone with a Violent Panda, and maybe
Which they need
they'll
to.
go through a playstyle change or something like that. But
Yeah.
I think like I think that team is gonna be dangerous, really dangerous next season.
Yeah. We could talk about free agents and prospects until the sun comes up.
Yeah.
But we do have some other topics to get to, so if anyone has any last thoughts on this off-season Rostermania, go ahead, Bueller.
I wonder who Endpoint's going to get because they dropped Virtuoso, but besides that, um, not really. I think we
Yeah.
really talked about everything to be honest.
Let's talk
Uh,
about that. Oh, yeah.
I think G2 has to make a move. I think they just have to, and they have to go for a big player.
Yeah.
Otherwise
My
they're
boy
gonna
Miss G2
they're gonna
Miss.
be fourth, fifth, or
Yeah,
sixth. They're not gonna
man.
be top two NA. So they need to make a huge move. So that's
What
what
about you,
needs to
Dirk?
happen.
Final thoughts on free agency.
Well, just you guys are getting me heated. G2 does not need to make a move.
Yes, they do.
They're good. They're top
Okay,
four.
let me
They
say
were
this.
arguably top two.
They
Yeah,
is
they're
a
top
juice eater.
four. They're top four.
Okay, no, let me say this because I see this brought up so many times. Okay, yes, G2 got top four, but and Drees was a great player. He was great, and if they keep Drees, I would not be mad if they don't if they keep Drees. But when you have a chance to get a player like Miss or First Killer on your team that is better than Drees right now and will more than likely be better than Drees in the future, and especially Miss who could very well get better in the future and he's considered a top three player sometimes in NA and was even considered to be the best in NA at like a minimal point. Not very long for like probably like 1
Super
minute.
defensive,
It's
fits
just
the
like
third man role with JNAPs in Chicago.
exactly. It's just like it's a match made specifically for G2. And if you're
I,
G2, you have to make that move, in my opinion.
I would only do it for Mist, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Honestly.
Yeah, I agree. I personally, as good as First Killer is, that's too much offensive, too many people needing ball touches between JNAP Chicago and First Killer. We kind of, obviously, it was a show match and they're on different ping, but
Yeah.
we saw what happened with Reddles, Chicago, and First Killer. Like, I know that's not the best example to use, but a mid-tier EU team shit on them. So,
Did you just call
But-
Guild mid-tier? They were coming off a regional.
Bro, did you see how they
regional.
did the championships?
Yeah, they're near the
They
top
didn't
of
win the
EU.
single. Oh, they will, bro.
Yeah,
they
that's
won.
top 6. It's not mid-tier.
It's BDS and then mid-tier EU. That's it. Sorry.
No,
You're talking about the losing team, BDS? You're talking about...
We can't like disrespect Vitality like that.
I know.
No. I was
Anyway.
disrespect, and this is coming from the person that disrespected them the most.
Just me. Let's Thank
Yeah.
you, Glove. First is with Chicago on the ball. No, their team Merc, right?
Yeah, with Gary G. Yep.
Yeah, Garrett first in Chicago. So
Yeah.
what are you guys' thoughts? What have you seen from IWO? I know earlier this morning the Germany closed qualifiers were going on. But yeah, open discussion about IWO here.
They're still happening. Germany qualifiers are still happening right now, and then it's Chile after.
I think I saw 2 weeks till the NA actual or America's tournament.
Yeah. D Manshaft moved on to winners finals, and that team has. There's no info on the team. I don't know. I think it's just like for NA. I don't really see any other team besides America winning. To be honest with you, I have not really watched a lot of IWO. So
I haven't either, but I believe they're going to be playing. Canada's in the same region, correct? So I would love to see that squishy team versus America in the finals.
I think it's Canada, Argentina.
It's Argentina, Brazil, Canada, Chile, Mexico, U.S.,
basically
Uruguay, and Puerto Rico.
the Western Hemisphere.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's gonna be Canada and U.S. I mean, I just love IWO just because you get to see people play with each other that normally don't in kind of a big stage, so that'll be fun to watch.
Having you go. I'm sorry, I got you on.
Oh no, yeah, you're good. And I don't know. I mean, just looking at the rosters, like the United States, Garrett G, Chicago First Killer, that's so hard to beat. Like it's just arguably the three best players in NA. And then Canada, you got Squishy, JNaps, Illusion. JNaps gonna have to try to carry, but again, I think JNaps is great, but he also, I mean, Illusion's good, but
I think we're going to get some throwback Squishy on that roster. We're going to get to see mechanical Squishy again.
Squishy's been really playing like really well recently. Like even at championships, he was playing really good, and like it's been carrying over. In some of the like clips I've seen in the IWO, it like has really carried over in my opinion.
I think it's reasonable.
I think he gets some disrespect because look who he's playing with. He's playing with Justin and Garrett. Like, how much do you really need to do on a team with those two guys, you know? So,
and it's the same thing with what Corrupt was talking about with G2. Like, at first it was to go there, someone would have to do what Squishy did and take that back seat.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Some other participants is Saudi Arabia, with Ahmad Sinzil Al Khalid making it through, and they will be competing in the EMEA regional finals against South Africa, Czech Republic, Norway, Netherlands, Saudi Arabia being them, United Kingdom, France, and Germany.
I have to say, I am excited to see like talent outside of what we normally see. Like, one night, 4 a.m., I'm checking Twitch and I see ESL streaming. They're playing like Japan games. Like, I think it's fun to be able to see like these just guys that you never see like play games, you know? Just totally new talent. Like, who knows how good they are, you know? I think it's fun.
I was watching Shroud with the Valorant qualifiers, and he was making that exact same point, just being able to turn it on. You got the same thing with League of Legends. There's League on every hour of the day.
Yeah, I mean, and I think IWO is, I mean, it's Rocket League's Olympics. It's country against country. There's like a lot of like pride in that, obviously. You know, looking at the EMEA, France, you know, it's Vitality. That's gonna be extremely difficult to beat. I mean, clearly they just beat a team that wasn't. I mean, they could have any player, and then they're the number one team in the world. So I don't know. I mean, I like the UK, Nolly, Archie, Devo. I think they'll be a really fun team to watch. Actually, I'm curious to see how that team like gels together. And honestly, I think they could make a good run.
I agree.
Sweet.
Um,
I got Corrupt approval. Fuck yeah. I mean, yeah.
So do you guys want to? I mean, I know we didn't have too much to talk on. We'll be able to talk more next week. I think the Americas and Europe are in 2 weeks from now, and the other two regions are in a week and a half, just less than 2 weeks. So we'll be able to dig into this a lot more next Sunday.
Yeah, and
Are there any
there will
other?
be fantasy for that. I'm
Yeah.
working on just getting those teams together. You know,
Ooh,
I'm thinking
a
about
league?
just releasing or making the drafting open now, even though some teams like Germany and I think there's one in the U.S. that hasn't fully finalized. But I'll probably just add those players in later. So yeah, I think that'll be fun to pick our teams for that.
Sedano hot release. Is this fresh news?
Is a hot drop,
Yep.
like a
Come right here
long-awaited
first.
Kendrick Lamar album.
Well, are there any other events on the Rocket League calendar this offseason that you guys are looking forward to?
There's gonna be a BS Plus tournament soon, and it's gonna be an invitational. Obviously, BS Plus are gonna be there, but they also invited
Is that what
White
they're boot
Demons.
camping for?
A little bit, but I think it's just a fun tournament. It's like $5,000 to the winner. They invited SK Gaming, White Demons, and one other team. Let me get it up right now. They invited, Woke Up Like This with Joyo, Valteria, and Rise. So
Okay.
far, so there's 4 teams so far.
Fun. Always fun to have little off-season things like that.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to the one scene.
Yep.
We got players that haven't played ones in a while. We got First
Yeah.
Killer, we got AJ. Those are names that were floating around for best ones player in the world, and now they've been out of form. And hopefully, like a major ones tournament, like a new salt mine, might motivate them a little bit, get them back in form. I'd love to see some more ones content.
I love CRL. Pirate has brought that up. I don't know if they have anything planned over the summer, but I'm a big Ohio State Beans boy. Me and my Buckeyes. So they. Yes, sir. I was watching that every night. Every night. It's just a little more informal and casual. They have a good time on the pre-show and all that stuff too. And there's some guys playing in the CRL. It's almost like minor leagues in some sense. You got Tristan on there, Ajax, all these guys that have come through CRL and are working their way into RLCS. So just a chance to kind of get to see them a little earlier on.
Yeah, and I don't know, I just love how many different leagues and streams there are all the time. You can almost every single day go to Twitch and find some league that's playing, and high level too, like CRL. There's some very good teams, bunch of just random tournaments, and seems like there's more and more tournaments that these orgs and random sponsors are putting on. So I love it.
Yeah. Well, I think I want to make sure we have plenty of time for what I know you guys want to do too. It's time to look at our top 10 players in the EU. So this idea was brought on the other night when in our podcast Discord, Corrupt makes the claim that Itachi is a top 5 EU player at this moment, to which we all quickly said, cap.
There's no way.
I've never,
No, Pyro.
never in my life have I ever been swarmed. Ever, over a Rocket League ticket that is insane.
Those notifications were popping off. What are you talking about? What?
Dur or Dan or someone, if one of you guys can handle the typing, because I gotta have the cameras up still.
Yeah, I got it.
But yeah, let's.
You mentioned my name Corrupt. He can't type. Is that what you're saying?
What?
You didn't say Corrupt.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, I did last time. I want to do it today.
I don't know. I was just
Gary.
saying somebody else
better.
type, please. So we'll start at 10 with we don't have a list for Clutch. Braden's in the chat. So Braden, do you wanna play along with us? You can just type yours in when it's your turn. But let's start with Dan. We'll start with Dan's number 10. We'll go Dan,
All right.
Braden, Dirk, Corrupt Me.
All right, number 10. I got the current champion in EU, K-Dub.
Wow.
I think he's obviously a champion. He's I don't know. I think he's great, but he just doesn't have like the super crazy playmaking ability, and also it's super hard to judge him when he's around such great players. Like that team is so good. It's kind of like a squishy on NRG. It's like how can you really tell how good he is when he's on a team that's so good and they're able to make those plays to him. So I got Kate up 10.
Fair enough.
Wow. That is hot. That is spicy.
That's a pretty hot take. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's pretty
All
hot.
right, Braden, what about you? Who you got 10?
I don't even know if does he have the doc? I don't know. Does he have it?
We're
Braden,
in
it's you,
European
brother.
Union.
All right, hey, we're just gonna. Hey, Perry, let's just do
He can't do it.
Yeah, let's
All
just
right.
do.
Well, it's okay. We'll just do the 4 camera people. Dirk, who you got at 10? Love you,
All right, wait. Let me pull up the list. I got it somewhere, and I don't want to butcher
Bro,
it.
delete my column.
Hold up. You might have to give me a skip because
All right,
my
Corrupt, hit
Google
us with your
Sheets is
10.
in shambles right now.
Wait, real
Oh.
quick. I see Clutch saying K-Dop was born a winner. So is Turbo Pulsa, but like, has anybody got him in the top 10?
Bah.
All right.
I have Noli 10.
Okay.
I
Fair
didn't
enough.
know he did, but like I don't know, I couldn't put an overall the people I have above him. So I think 10. He's a top 10 player in EU. That's not a bad thing. But I have him number 10.
Perry, we're gonna pull back here, and only at 10. Corrupt on the money there.
All right.
That's what I have.
I personally have got Jorius. I know that Dignitas didn't have the best season, but I think they have that potential. Him and Jack especially. We saw in the 2v2 show match during championships what they can do. But I think Violent Panda was just holding them back, and once they make an upgrade, we're going to see that really start to take off.
This is a little bit of spoiler, but I was like, it was a really, really close battle on putting Jorius on the list. But like, just out of sheer inconsistency and like,
Fair enough.
I couldn't really put him on the list. But I do respect that pick because he was really close to making mine. Like he was
Yeah.
considered. All right, Dan, number 9.
Yeah, let's head back to the top of the lineup.
Number 9, I've got Mark by 8.
Like that pick.
Another great player. It's on a great team. Gets a little overshadowed, so it's super hard to tell exactly how good he is. But he's solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's solid. He's solid.
there.
Oh, my number 9. Another BDS player,
Uh-huh.
not marked by 8.
Is
No.
extra.
Extra. I have extra.
Yep.
I think he was a great player for BDS this season, but I just don't think you can. So I think just from his performances this season, I don't think you can put him outside the top 10, but I don't think you can put him higher because of his teammates, and I think his just team. He's such a good team that I gotta back up here. I'm getting excited talking about BDS. I think that his team was so good that with Monkey Moon and Mark, that he just can't be higher either.
I feel that.
Yeah, I understand it. I have Atomic 9.
Atomic 9. Wow.
I don't mind that. He does not have a requirement to use a specific car, which is better than the NA Atomic.
I I think
Here we go.
I think Atomic's the best player in case. So obviously I said this earlier on the pod, but I don't know. I always thought Queso could have been a little bit better. And, I just think the inconsistency, I couldn't really put them higher than this. Because I know grid doesn't matter, but they didn't even qualify for a grid once the entire season. But I do think I think for like, I don't want to spoil anything, but I do think he's the best player on Queso, so he has to be on this list. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
I just, yeah. What about you, Perry?
I liked Dan's pick, and I had Mark by 8 at number 9. One of the best ball chasers in the world, and he just gets free reign to do what he wants. He may not get to necessarily shine individually the way he might be able to on another team, but I think the back end of BDS being as strong as it is what lets him do what he does.
All right, so we're going to number 8.
Corrupt, by the way, Jorius, my number 10 is not guilty.
Oh my god, that's for Guild, bro. Oh my goodness. Noli, bro.
Number 8, I've got extra.
Okay.
That's respectable.
Also, yeah, I think BDS has, I think, yeah, Extra and Mark Bait are solid players, but really what makes them a top 2 team, and some would argue the best team in EU, is just their play style and their team play. Like, whoever's coaching them, deserves a raise.
I agree. I do think that like we don't really hear about who's coaching them as much. I do respect
Yeah.
that pick. I do.
Their passing plays is the fastest in EU.
Yeah. All right, so Dan's got Extra at 8. What about you, Dur?
At 7.
Here we go.
Corrupt.
What about 8? Let's stick with 8
Who
first.
do you... Oh, wait. All right, at 8. At 8. I just can't count. Corrupt. Who do you think it is? Look at me. Who is it?
Oh no!
Is it Mark
Oh,
by 8
no.
or Dorius? No,
Oh, no.
it's Itachi, isn't it?
It's Itachi. It is Itachi.
Yeah.
I have to say, I like Itachi.
Man, you're putting them high.
Giants showed up, right? But they disappointed me towards the back end of the whole thing. Spring split, where were the Giants? They
Disappeared. Yeah.
Yeah. Like they had the spot. They could have been in the championships, but they just choked it away. So I cannot put Itachi much higher than 7, 8. I can't count still.
That's respectable though. That's not
All
too
right,
far out of top 5.
I'm actually going to, just because mine's the same as Dur, I'm going to jump in and jump over you. I also have Itachi at 8.
Totally. All right. That's respectable.
I think I saw what Itachi could really do in that showcase that they did in the championships again. Him and Stake were balling, and they're getting Astro as well. So I think Itachi's going to really be able to show off what he can do. But to call him a top 5 player is just bewildering.
All
It's
right,
a
my
bit of a reach, which, by the way, I want to guess that you have Itachi at number 5. Because I know you can't put him higher, but you also can't put him outside the top 5 anymore.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Well, we'll just have to see and find out, shall we?
All right.
got him number
Hit us
1.
with your 8 then.
I got Mark by 8, number 8.
All right. Mark at 8.
I do think Mark's good. He's grown on me as a player. He's not my favorite player on BDS, but I think Mark. I don't like. As I think Dan was saying, I just don't think, or no, Dirk was saying, I just don't think they get as much credit as they do or should be getting. And I do think Monkey does get a lot of the credit because he is the best player. But man, Mark is like one of the best offensive players I've seen in a very long time, in my opinion. Not just off of like mechanics, but just overall knowing what to do on offense, just everything, like all around offense. I just think that there's no way he's outside the top 10 in my opinion. To be fair.
Yeah, I can totally respect that.
Yep.
All right, Dan.
All right. Now we're on to 7, Dur. We'll start with Dan.
I think I've gone 3 in a row. Somebody's got to start. So I don't get But
I mean, we
like
can start
just
snaking it
trashed
back and forth
yeah.
if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We can
let's
do
get
it.
somebody new for
All
round
right,
7.
so I'll
Gary?
start out row 7.
Yeah.
I've got my boy Nolly. I
All
think
right.
he had a chance to. He had a chance to be a little higher in my rankings, but the performance in championships, regardless of the controller chuck, they didn't play well, and so I can't put him any higher than this. But I do think he is the difference maker for Guild when they're playing well.
I have him at 7 as well.
Oh, you do? Ooh. Mario jumped there. I have extra 7.
Okay.
Extra
Right.
is my favorite player on BDS. I've been an extra fan since he was on AS Monaco, and I knew that he was like one of the best players. He could have been one of the best players in the world, in my opinion. I just think that if he was on another team, he would like. If he was on another team, he'd be the star player, and it's just, he's just so good. I like it just so much. All right, Derek, your turn.
All right. I got Atomic.
Okay.
I think Queso is a great team. I think Atomic is the best player on Queso. Do I need to say more?
No, not really.
Nope,
That's fair.
that's it. That covers it.
All right.
Have him at 7. You can't disrespect Queso like that. You just leaving everyone outside top 10. You know.
All right, Dan.
All right, we got Dan 7, so we'll have him start out row 6 here.
All right. Let's see. Number 6, I've got Fairy Peak.
Ooh.
I think
What?
I would be surprised. I don't know. I think. I mean, the man wins championships. He's a winner. He's also like a leader, which is huge because more than anything, you need the person that's going to lift up the teammates, and I think he's the guy that's doing that.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right, Derek, your turn.
Break out the spreadsheet.
Yes, sir.
Dan, before I do this, I want to say I'm sorry. Okay?
No, don't do it, man.
Yeah.
Astro.
I got
Yep.
you. Thanks, Braden.
I just can do it. Yep.
Astral
might get some
number
heat.
what? At 6, 7?
Wait, let me count.
6.
6. Yep, I have him at 6.
Okay. Okay.
Solar. Yeah, I know. Astral's great. He's great. Just, I don't think he's got so much hype. I don't think he's I think his hype has like outclassed him at this point. I think people just every time they lose, Solary doesn't do anything. It's like Chaussette and Farah, you know? I think he deserves some blame, and I don't think he gets it.
I can show you Farah's points throughout the season, and I'm pretty sure it would contradict.
I stand by what I said.
All right, well, Corrupt. Numero 6.
I got Itachi. Number
He
6.
claims Itachi top 5
Wow.
EU, stands by it, throws a tantrum, and then puts him at 6.
I
Hold
respect
on, hold on.
Yeah, I respect
Oh my.
I
Okay,
respect
so
you more for doing it, but you're a clown.
Right.
I had to, after the whole thing, I was heated. I had to I'm gonna go look at Octane.gg, and I would look over the season, and I couldn't justify putting him in top 5 over everyone else. But I did not think that he was anywhere below 6 at all. Itachi's one of my favorite players in EU. But I just don't think I can have someone in top 5 who didn't make championships. Well, never mind. Wait, that's cap. No, that's cap. Because there is that's cap. Ignore what I just said there. But I do think if we go over to Octane.gg, Itachi has
man right
500
here.
games played. He has a 51.58% win percentage. His scores are 405, 51 score a game, 0.71 goals, 0.69 assists,
Nice.
1.72 saves, 2.84 shots, a 24.86% shot percentage, a 64.04% goal percentage, and an overall score of 1.07.
That's not bad.
Yeah, obviously. So it was higher than a lot of people that I didn't think. Like his overall score is higher than Astral. But Astral obviously has more games played. But overall, I just think that on my whole list, I truthfully do think that Itachi's better than Extra, Mark, Atomic, and Noli right now.
Fair enough. So that's your list.
But I could not, after look, I could not put him top five. I wanted to, but I couldn't
I
justify doing
appreciate you doing that.
it.
Me at number 6, I have Mr. Alpha 54. He is the mechanical guy for Vitality. Not
Yep.
that Fairy Peak doesn't have some K-Dop. He knows where to be. But yeah, Alpha 54. He's nuts. He's the one that lets Vitality keep up with these younger, faster teams. Do you want me to just swing it back around then and hit my 5 now?
Yeah. Doing snake method, yeah.
My number 5, I have Extra. I think it's a fair place for him.
Extra was my number 5 for a very long time, but I had to do some adjustments that I thought. But yeah, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
think
real quick, I want to talk to Pyro. Pyro, Alpha could have gotten into my top 5 if he'd beaten BDS more than once all season. Sorry.
That's fair. I mean, I think that's totally fair. In my opinion.
I just don't think you can put Extra above Alpha 54. That's just my opinion. I just think Alpha 54 is much better, of a player overall.
Perry, they beat him twice in the championship. 2 series.
Okay, yes. They beat them in one tournament all season.
Twice.
Out of how many matches?
A lot of matches.
Just saying.
Yeah, again, Pyro. But BDS won every other matchup against them all season long. Every major.
Almost every regional too.
5,300 points, like. But yeah, Extra, number 5, BDS. I don't have to really say too much about him.
It's funny you mentioned Alpha 54 because Alpha 54 is my number 5.
Hey.
I've always been high on Alpha.
We're gonna do NA next week, Pyro.
Whenever he was on TSM, especially, he did disappoint me a little bit. I just overall think that Vitality should have beat, besides championships, BDS at least once, but they never did. And then there was like spring split where like it looked like they were starting to fall off, but it could have just been a mentality thing where they just didn't care and were just waiting for championships or LAN. And for that, I do have to put him higher because I think he performed the best on Vitality during championships, and it's just in my mind it was like, yeah, he's still a top 5 player in EU. I don't think there's a debate for that, so that's why I have him 5 for me.
Fair enough. Real quick before we hear Dur's top 5, I just had the idea. I think when we're done here with our list, what I will do is put the link of the Google Doc in the chat. That way you guys can go in, add your own column on the Google Doc, and make your case for your own top 10. But we'll do that when we're done. But Dur, what's your number 5?
All right. We're staying spicy here because I like this man. A Chronic.
Nice. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I like it too.
BS Plus. A Chronic, if you're carrying, I'm sorry. No disrespect, but the man is just not up to par. I'm sure he'd smoke me in any type of game, but...
Cut out. Who'd you say? Godsmiller?
To be on a roster, I think you can do so much better than Godsmill, and I wanted to say that. Yeah. I cut up. Yeah, I think Godsmill is just... If you're carrying him... Yeah, I know. My PC's bugging. Godsmill does not deserve to be on a roster, though. Maybe that's disrespectful, but
that's a hot
if you're carrying Godsmill...
I think that's a hot take.
You do enough to actually have your name as the team name in an RLCS tournament, you've earned the respect to be on a team. It was literally Godsmilla's team on the RLCS scoreboard.
Yeah, they had the best team logo. That's a fact.
Well,
And
hold
make
on,
the
Pyro.
upset.
If you don't think a Chronic is top 10 EU, you are the one that's on crack, sir. Because that's what he is. Cracked!
You
A
know,
chronic
I
is a
agree.
different animal, and y'all are gonna see.
Yep, I agree.
I agree so much, Dur, that I put him at number 5 as well.
Thank you.
Hey, smart
Thank
guys.
you.
All right, follow it up, Dan. Quattro.
All right. This man is a goal scorer. He's a point getter. Archie
Nice.
at number 4.
Dur? Tweeting out some hot
Sorry.
takes.
Yeah, I am. I got Alpha 54 Vitality.
Nice.
Yep, like that.
Respectable.
Oh wait. Fellas, gentlemen,
Yeah.
Did you change your
made a
mind?
mistake. No,
Oh.
Oh no.
my list has 9 people in it.
Oh
We're
no.
gonna need a shift. We're gonna need a shift. One up, everybody.
All right,
So, all right, so we'll get Dur's number 10 at the end. Stay tuned for that one.
Just
Bro,
the hype
delete the
10
cell
pick.
and do shift up.
Can you do
Delete
that?
the top cell. Yeah, delete the cell above that one, and then hit shift up.
Actually, we can just have Dur give us his number 10, and we'll get back in order.
Yeah, Dur, who do you got at number 10 now?
Ooh.
Matt's been hard
Alright.
for Dur today.
Well, I'm doing it on the spot, so I like to. I'm just gonna go and say these are people that I like. You know, I think a lot of people can be put on this 10 spot,
I agree with that.
but I'm gonna say Relating Wave Virtuoso.
Wow.
Which one?
Yeah.
Wait,
Wow.
isn't that two?
Or not
people?
Virtuoso. Endpoint. Relating Wave. Endpoint. Virtuoso's on the mind.
Okay, I was gonna say
Rest in peace.
Virtuoso's another player.
Yeah. Relating
Alright.
Wave. Endpoint.
Wow.
Okay.
Dang.
Actually, no.
You really did just
I
make
told
that
you
up
it's on the
spot.
spot. Ronicky. How do you forget Ronicky?
Okay, fine.
Okay.
That
I
one, that one I respect more. I was just gonna
Yeah,
move
yeah.
right
So many
on from
people I was
Relating
thinking
Wave.
about on this 10 spot.
I do
I had
not.
so many people.
I do not respect that. He is not nowhere near a top 10 player in the EU. I'm
Ronicky?
sorry.
Ronicky?
No.
I would have him top 15. I think Ronke's very good. Yeah.
All right, we'll just.
I don't know. I
we've
don't
already
mind
done-
seeing
We've
him on
already
the
done the
list.
whole bottom, but yeah, I definitely don't mind it. But Corrupt, what's your number 4?
A chronic.
You can put that on my list too. I got the same one.
Wow. We almost agreed 100% on that one, except for one
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah, man. Should we just like cut Dan and then we went 3 for 3?
We'll see.
I'll follow it right around. My number 3 is Mr. Top Bloke himself, Archie. He's just a beast. Does it all for him. He was top blokes last season. I think he should go find himself a roster to actually compete on. I think the move to join a Nolly and Debo would be trouble for E EU.
Yep, he needs to make a move for sure.
Yeah. I like that so much that I'm gonna copy it, and I like Archie too. Number 3.
Hell yeah.
For me.
Okay.
Smart guy.
Come on, Dur.
What's up,
Oh.
T-Rob?
All right. Sorry, I had to calm the dogs.
No problem, bro.
Above a chronic, I have Alpha 54
Respectable.
Okay.
at 3. I think we saw what he can do this past.
Respectable.
How long ago was that? Sheesh.
Like
That was a
2
while
weeks
ago. But Alpha is just an animal. I think if he plays the game, he's top 3. Top. So throw him up there.
Yep.
top 3.
I got him at number 3 as well.
Fair enough.
All right. Number 2 in the world. If it was a week ago, I would hate myself, but I'm saying Astral at number 2.
Smart guy. Mr. Durr?
I'm gonna give you my last two because I do have to go.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right.
So I'm gonna throw in Archie at 2, Monkey Moon at 1.
Perfect.
Saw that coming.
I'm not sure how much explanation I have to give behind those 2 picks because
Not a
I
whole
think they're
lot.
both fantastic players.
Mm-hmm.
But there's 1, 2,
Wow.
and I'll see you gentlemen later.
Respect. All right. See you, Durs.
Seems there.
Bye.
For
Oh,
me,
that's close.
uh,
Well.
I got Ashton number 2.
Same here.
Okay.
Which means you can, I think me and Corrupt had the top, we all got the same number 1. I mean, let's be honest. If anyone had anyone other than Monkey Moon number 1 in EU,
Right.
we'd
It's
probably
Scrub Killer
kick
for
you
me.
from the podcast.
Scrub Killer
Right,
number 1 for
Dan's
me.
gone.
Scrub Killer number 1. Monkey Moon ain't even top 20. Just kidding. Obviously. Monkey Moon.
So me and Corrupt had the exact same top 4.
Yep.
We were all pretty close towards the top.
All right, so chat, one word. Go ahead and type the name of the person you think has the best list.
Yeah, right.
Brayden.
Archie Chronic, yeah.
Brayden's.
Yeah, Brains. For sure, Brains.
Yeah. All right, so
All
I
right,
think
people are liking
Durr,
Dur's list.
Durr seems to be our victor. I think it
Number
will be
1 pick.
fun.
And that Archie pick, though, I would say Dur too, except for that Archie pick.
Yeah, I can't hate on.
Or
Archie,
not
too, but-
not Archie. Astral. Astral needs to be like number 2. But other than that, I think he has a great list.
Yeah, I think if you thought EU was entertaining, next week we're gonna hit NA, and I think that one will be interesting because NA has. Brayden, we've been okay. Never mind. Yeah, there's our list. Brayden, do you have access to the link for the Google Doc? Can you throw that in chat for us so that people can go in and add their own list if they want to?
I have it. You just want me to throw it in there?
Yeah, maybe make an original copy of our list and just like duplicate the sheet.
I'd
Yeah,
love to see the averages too that we put, kind of like there was for the worlds.
Mhm. Yeah, maybe we can tweet that out.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah,
I mean,
shit.
we weren't too far apart on a lot of these picks. I think
Mm-mm.
Itachi. Honestly, I think Itachi wasn't even. Everyone kind of had him at the same spot besides me.
Yeah.
But
All right, well, I just want to talk one more little subject before we wrap up for the day. And that's just I want each of us to go ahead and give not only the team that we think is your sleeper pick for next season, your dark horse, and then what team you thought had the best season overall in Season X. So go ahead, Dan.
I mean, best season. I think like most improved and like kind of funnest to watch was Queso. I think they were a team that really could beat any team, depending on the tournament. And yeah, they weren't really talked about until this season, and now they're obviously like kind of the whole them staying together or disbanding, whatever. Like they're getting talked about just because they're such a good team, and really I think they could beat any team, any game. So yeah, Queso for me I think was like most improved, funnest team to watch.
Okay, and then what team do you kind of have as your sleeper? Who are you keeping an eye on the most in terms of RLCS teams going into next season?
For NA, I really hope G2 can make a move. Because I think if they can make a move to a Daniel or some first killer, one of those, I think they're going to be the team to watch. I mean they're not a sleeper pick, but I don't know. They're my team to watch, especially with these roster moves happening. Yeah, that's what I got. I got G2.
All right, Corrupt team on the rise next season, and who you thought had the best Season X?
obviously, I'm gonna say G2 is gonna be on the rise, but I think that's an obvious pick. I'm gonna throw as a sleeper pick or dark horse. I'm gonna say Charlotte Phoenix.
Okay.
With my boy Andy and Beastabonium with Delta
Yeah.
2. I'm really a fan of Charlotte Phoenix, as you know, you've seen on the show. Maybe sometimes I mention it. I think they're a great team. And overall, who I think did the best over the course of the season, I would have to go with NRG because they won 2 out of 3 of the majors, and then they finally won championships. Had the most points in NA, and I think even though they have less points than BDS, in my opinion, I think those points are way more valuable in NA than it is in EU. The competition in NA is 10 times better, but that's a discussion for another day.
Yeah.
Definitely is.
Yeah, I totally see that. My team that I think is going to be a sleeper next season is going to be the PK Knights. I think that addition of Alpha Cap with Sosa, they've already got Rodoko back there. He's a great third man, but if G2 does end up making a move, I know I could maybe Dree slots in there. I mean, PK Knights is a decent sized enough org that Dries could come over to and make an impact as like his stepping stone to one of those back to those major orgs. So I think PK is going to make some noise this season. And then I got to agree with Corrupt on NRG having the best season X. I think they could have gotten the same points as BDS. Maybe I'm reaching if they were in EU, but especially because they capped it off the way you should as the best team in your region. If BDS had won, I would have given it to them. But when you again 73-9 Warriors, you lose that finals. What's it all for? It's a big asterisk on what was otherwise a fantastic season. So NRG capped it off like a champion does. So they're gonna be my team.
Yep.
Do you guys have any final thoughts before we get out of here today?
Real quick, my sleeper pick, like Dark Horse, is gonna be version 1.
Okay.
I think Gimmick, Torment, Calm, depending on if they make a move to grab somebody else. I like all those players. I think they're a very solid team. If they can get maybe good passing plays, up their chemistry a little bit, I think they could be a top 5 team.
They're going to take you to Game 5 or Game 7. That's guaranteed.
Right, they're grinders.
They go the full length of series more than just about any other team I've watched.
Absolutely.
Any last thoughts, Corrupt?
I mean, what else is there to say? If Miss get G2, they're the best team in the world.
Yep.
Anyways, that's it for Corrupt Arrow today. It's been a great show, everyone. I had a lot of fun. It's gonna be an exciting, even though like it's just barely getting started. There's been so many moves that have happened just already so far, and it's just gonna increase and increase and increase as weeks and weeks go on. We still have to see who G2 may be getting, if Ro's gonna make a move, who Endpoint's gonna get, where Chasette's gonna go, like Dan is saying, if Dignitas is gonna make a move so far, where Daniel's going, a lot of stuff is going to happen. It's gonna be a crazy off season, and we're gonna be here to talk about it with you guys, of course.
Yep. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot to keep an eye on this season. Don't forget to head on over to FanRL. Make sure you get signed up. Keep an eye on the IWO. We're gonna have Fantasy Rocket League available for that. You can get in and compete with us from Wave Dash Podcast. We're also on Twitter at Wave Dash Podcast, and then we're gonna upload all of these podcasts, these streams to YouTube. Wave Dash Podcast on there as well. Be sure to hit that follow button. We're working on getting affiliated so we can do some more stuff for you guys, give you some polls, get you regulars some VIP, some emojis, that kind of stuff. But yeah, I think it was another good episode. We're going to be back next week, so keep an eye on that Twitter with our top 10 NA player list. It's going to get spicy. You don't want
Yes,
Real quick note, I was looking at the Google Doc. Pyro has Alpha 54 above Monkey Moon, so Pyro.
Oh my gosh.
You're flaming
opinion
up
is
in
null and
chat.
void.
Come on, man.
Null and
You
void.
got
What's up? Shout out
Monkey Moon
G-Rob,
second.
Kaiju member with the follow there. But yeah, I think that's going to wrap it up. Don't forget to get your EU lineup in there, and then come watch us complain about the NA players next week.
Yes, sir. That's gonna be really heated. I can already tell. It's gonna be bad.
Peace out, everyone.
Oh, I'm excited.
everyone.
All right. See you guys.
See y'all next week.